Hello, residents of Cypress Village. This is Ty Morgan, Executive Director here at Cypress Village. As we enter the 2025 hurricane season, I want to personally encourage each of you to take time to review this year's hurricane guide and watch this video in full. Over the years, our emergency procedures have grown stronger, more efficient, and more resident-focused. And this guide reflects the very best of what we've done and learned in the past. While hurricane season can bring a sense of uncertainty to all of us, I want to reassure you that our top priority is, and always will be, your safety. Our team is prepared, our plans are in place, and we are committed to helping each and every one of you navigate the season with confidence as well as peace of mind. Cypress Village is located in an evacuation zone E and FEMA flood zone X. What this means to you is that a full evacuation remains extremely unlikely. However, if an emergency does ever require it, we are going to be ready. We've established mutual aid agreements with 3 of our sister communities in Florida. The first of which is Freedom Point at the Villages in the Villages. Second is Lake Porus Square in Leesburg, Florida. And the last is Glenview at Pelican Bay in Naples, Florida. These partnerships allow us to safely relocate residents from our healthcare center, assisted living, and memory care areas, along with the essential staff to trusted, well-equipped locations. And as part of this mutual network, Cypress Village may also be asked to support these communities in times of need as well. It is important to note, independent living residents will not be included in Cypress Village's evacuation plans. That's why it is so important for each of you to develop your own personal emergency plan right now with your family as well as your friends. Consider potential accommodations, routes, and supplies in advance so you're not left scrambling if a storm does approach and become severe. These are key steps. Now, how does Cypress Village prepare internally? Let me share a little bit of that information with you. Preparation on our side begins well before a storm arrives. We are prepared as of today. Our team operates using a Team A and a Team B staffing model to ensure uninterrupted support and services to our residents. Team A will shelter in place to provide continuous care and manage critical operations during the storm and the threat, while Team B remains off-site and ready to relieve Team A or reinforce once it's time and safe to return. In the days leading up to the storm, what we do is, 1, secure our facilities, stock emergency supplies, coordinate with the city and local agencies, as well as ensure all of our systems are tested and ready. These steps help us stay ahead of the storm and any potential threats, and also protect the peace of mind of our community. All right, now that I have given all of our residents, as well as families and others that are watching this video, all the general information of how the community prepares for a storm or a severe threat, now I'm going to introduce some of the leaders here at the community to also provide some very specific areas related to their departments. And then I will wrap it up with some frequently asked questions to finalize the video. Thank you.
Hello, I'm David Green, Director of Plant Operations here at Cypress Village. As part of our hurricane preparedness plan, I'd like to share a few key items the residents should know about our community's emergency infrastructure and operations, especially when it comes to evacuation zones, power outages, cleanup, and more. Cypress Village is located in Evacuation Zone E, FEMA Flood Zone X. This means full evacuation is extremely unlikely, but we are always prepared for all scenarios. As the storm approaches, transportation services may be suspended due to prioritizing emergency preparedness. We strongly encourage residents to complete their errands and secure their supplies before services paused or discontinued during the weather threat. I want to be upfront about what you can expect during a power loss. For apartment residents, emergency lighting is available on one side of each hallway and 1 elevator per tower will be operational. Outlets in your apartments will not work. Your air conditioning will not be available as well. Our generators have an 18-hour fuel capacity. Refueling only will happen when the roads are safe to travel on. If the generators run out, residents will need to use the stairs to reach the first floor. The house residents are on a separate power grid and may experience outages independently of the main building. Emergency call systems and pendant systems will not be operational. Please do not call maintenance or concierge to report the power outage. Instead of contact JEA directly at 904-665-6000. We encourage all residents to prepare their living spaces well in advance of any storm. Secure outside furniture, planters, loose items, and patios and balconies to prevent damage or injury. Hurricane shutters should be installed early. If you need help with the shutters and installation or removing items from your patio or balcony, please contact the maintenance office at 904-223-6124 as soon as possible. Requests will be handled in the order they receive, and we appreciate your patience as our team works to prepare the entire campus. After the storm, our landscaping vendor, Rupert, will assist in the debris removal across the property. So now is a great time to review your homeowners and renters insurance to make sure your coverage meets your current needs. It's a proactive step that gives you peace of mind and financial protection. Our entire plant operations team is here to support you through the season with preparation, communication, and recovery. Thank you for partnering with us to keep Cypress Village safe and secure during the hurricane season.
Hello, Cypress Village. My name is Laurel Mundell, and I'm your Director of Administrative Services. I oversee the concierge and communication here at the community. So in preparation for hurricane planning this year, I'm going to discuss our communication methods. But for starters, I wanted to go over our community alert levels that we operate under when we know a storm is coming. We have green, yellow, and red. Green means business as usual. This is when we know a storm is coming or we're watching the weather, but we're still business as usual. This is a great time for you to get your supplies, make sure everything is as you would need it, fill your prescriptions, all of those things, take things off your balconies, all that sort of stuff. But we are still business as usual. Once we hit yellow, the yellow level, that means that we are going to be enacting our emergency response team. We have responders on Team A and responders on Team B, and this is relating to employees. Those on Team A will be sheltering in place at the community, and those on Team B will return once the storm has passed, and so Team A can go home, then Team B comes on to relieve them. This is usually business as usual for the time being. Unless the power goes out, which if the power goes out or the storm is in fact upon us, that is when we're going to hit level red. So, but in the yellow time, we still might have transportation. We might have some activities, though they'll be a little different or modified. And then usually dining, we try to keep dining as normal as possible during this. But yellow is when we'll probably have the most communication so that you know which things are closed and which things are still operating in a normal fashion. Once we hit the yellow level, that is when we will close guest suites and we will not be allowing any more visitors to come on campus during that stage. And then of course, level red, as I had mentioned, if the power goes out or the bridge is closed, that is when we have entered threat level red. And so this is when we will in fact have, the only staff you will see are the ones that are spending the night here. And things can be, we are not going to have activities, we're not going to have transportation, dining meals are going to be modified, and then security will be on campus, but things will not be operating as you're accustomed to, and I'll let security speak more to that. But the emergency call systems and pendants will be disabled when we're in the red level, just so that you understand what that means. And then when it comes to emergency communication, we, true to form, is we text using our texting system, so all residents will receive that. If you want to make sure that you're opted in, if you have opted out at any time, just text our main number, 223-6100 and text the word UNSTOP, UNSTOP. And that makes sure that you're opted back into these messages so you'll know in real time what's happening. Anything that we send out in a text message will also be recorded on our emergency hotline. The emergency hotline is 904-863-7140. So you as a resident or your family member can call in at any time and hear the most recent message. That way, if the power goes out and we're not able to send text messages, we'll at least have that phone line still up and you can hear any of our community updates. There will be a test call and text message that will go out on June 16th, that is a Monday, to everyone that we have on file. So it'll be our independent living residents, their emergency contacts that they have listed for this year, as well as the family members of our higher levels of care. And if you did not receive that message or that call on June 16th, then you are not in our system or there was some sort of fault there. So please call the main line and let them know that you need to be added or that we need to look into why your number was missed. But that will be our main form of communication, and we're going to use that same list anytime that we have an update or anything that we need to communicate to everyone. But we will have concierge working the main phone line in the event of a hurricane. However, we can't obviously handle the volume of calls, you know, how is my loved one doing, this, that, and the other. It's going to be purely for need to know information. We're going to send that out, but we're not going to have the same level of staff to be able to run that type of communication as we have on normal business hours. If you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me directly. Again, my name is Laurel Mundell, Director of Administrative Services, and my phone number is 904-807-6116. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Hello, I'm Tyler Ramos, Director of Dining Services here at Cypress Village. As part of our hurricane preparedness plan, I'd like to walk you through how dining services will operate before, during, and after a storm. As weather conditions change, so will our dining operations. During alert level yellow, Middleton's will remain open. However, all other dining venues, including the Loon's Nest Bar and Grill and Sandpiper Corner Store, will be closed. In the event of alert level red or a power outage, dining will shift to takeout only with bagged or boxed lunches distributed from Middleton's. Food delivery to apartments may still be available, but we ask for your patience, as this will depend on staffing and safety conditions. If we transition to emergency meal service, here's what you can expect. We'll provide a limited menu of cold, bagged, or boxed lunch options. A sample menu includes ham and cheese roll-up, chips, whole fruit, cookie or brownie, and a bottle of water. Each meal will be available to independent living residents for $10 and can be charged to your dining points. Residents in assisted living, memory care, and the healthcare center will continue receiving 3 meals per day as usual. We encourage all residents to stock up on shelf-stable food and water in advance, in case dining services are delayed or unavailable for a short period. Alcohol service will be suspended during emergency events. Dining service availability may vary depending on staffing levels, road safety, and weather conditions. In the event of an emergency, regulated areas are fully stocked with emergency water, up to 3 gallons per person per day. For independent living residents, we'll be offering water for purchase in advance of any storm during our upcoming farmers markets. Stay tuned for dates and details in our community update. Our team is committed to keeping you nourished and supported, no matter the weather. Thank you for your cooperation and for helping us stay safe and prepared this hurricane season.
Hello, I'm Ashley Miller, Director of Resident Services at Cypress Village. I want to take a moment to walk you through a few key steps that will help us stay safe, connected, and prepared this hurricane season. First, let's talk about emergency contact hurricane preparedness forms for independent living residents. For those of you who submitted your information last year, you'll be receiving a printed copy of what we currently have on file. Please take a few moments to review it, and if any updates are needed, simply make your changes and return the updated version to the concierge desk no later than June 6th. If you did not receive a copy, that means we do not have your information on file. In that case, you can easily complete a new form using the Hurricane module on the Cypress Village app. Or you can stop by the Wellness Center and pick up a hard copy. This form helps us build our emergency contact distribution list so we can keep you and your loved ones informed before, during, and after a storm. Next, if you or your spouse have any special medical needs that may require assistance during a storm, we strongly encourage you to consider registering with a local special needs shelter. Our team is here to help if you need any assistance with registration process. Particularly if you have vision impairments or other health challenges, please reach out to Chrissy Slifka in the Wellness Center at 904-807-6221. And to help everyone feel informed and confident heading into this hurricane season, we'll be hosting a resident hurricane preparedness meeting on Wednesday, June 25th at 2 p.m. in Egret Hall. We'll be sharing this video and holding a Q&A session to address your questions directly. Lastly, it's crucial to gather your emergency supplies before a storm is on the horizon. Please make sure you have enough prescription medications and any over-the-counter items that you may need. Non-perishable food and water, flashlights, batteries, and a phone charger, sanitation products, and supplies, if applicable. If you need help determining what to include in your safety kit, our team is here to assist you. Together, we can make sure everyone is informed, equipped, and supported, no matter what the season brings. Thank you for being an active part of our community's preparedness, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Stay safe, and let's continue looking out for one another.
Hello, this is Scott Markwart from the Security Office with a few items that will assist you in the event of a hurricane. The first thing I want to mention is that the guest suites reservations will be canceled in the event that we enact our hurricane protocols. Also, the expectation is that residents will shelter in place or make arrangements to stay with family or friends ahead of the coming storm. In the event that you will not be staying in Cypress Village, we ask that you continue to follow the normal practice of putting in a trip slip with security to ensure we know that you will not be here. Additionally, I want to mention that emergency services will not be as readily available due to the higher than normal call volumes associated with hurricane-related calls. Please, by all means, call 911 in the event of a life-threatening emergency, but know that EMS services may be delayed due to the storm. Our in-house emergency call systems should be functioning, but may be limited in the event of a power outage. Security will still be on site, but our focus will be on weathering the storm. Lastly, as a reminder, there is no available covered parking during the storm, but feel free to call security if you have any questions regarding parking during the storm. That's all from me. Please stay safe.
Hello, I'm Connie Hickman, the Director of Assisted Living for our Assisted Living and Memory Care neighborhoods. As we enter hurricane season, I want to briefly address some common questions we receive each year and share how we work to keep everyone safe and informed. We're prepared for storms, but every storm is different. Because of the uncertainty, we encourage, though do not require, families to consider evacuating with their loved one ahead of a severe weather event. Being together during these times can ease stress for both residents and families. We work closely with our pharmacy partners to ensure residents who receive medication assistance have at least a 2-week supply. If your loved one manages their own medications or uses a mail order service, please be sure to have a 2-week supply on hand. If evacuation becomes necessary, we'll send all medications and instructions with the resident. Our community has backup generators, but not all areas have full coverage. If we lose power, we'll monitor conditions and relocate residents, especially those who require powered medical devices, to areas with backup power as needed. While we understand the desire to be with your loved one during a storm, unfortunately, we are unable to accommodate family members sheltering in place with residents. As long as we have power and water, services like meals, bathing, and laundry will continue as normal. If changes are necessary, we will keep residents and families informed. We provide regular updates to residents during meals and through resident meetings as needed. I also work directly with our Resident Advisory Council to help share information. During severe weather, leadership is highly engaged, and we ask that families use the designated hotline number for updates rather than calling the main office. We hope this helps bring peace of mind. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help. Thank you and stay safe this hurricane season.
All right, and I'm back, and we are going to conclude the video with some frequently asked questions. We hope that all of you that have watched this video found it very helpful and very informational. That was our intent. And now I am going to finish off the video with some of the frequently asked questions. I'd like to walk you through some of those that we receive each year. So the first one will be, what kind of storm would trigger an evacuation here at Cypress Village? The only way a mandatory evacuation issued by the City of Jacksonville would prompt us to evacuate this area, and even then it would apply only to the regulated areas like our healthcare center and assisted living memory care areas, would be the Agency for Healthcare Administration literally showing up to our property, making a call, or contacting us in some way, shape, or form to issue us a mandatory evacuation. That would be really the only trigger that would do so. Outside of that, it would have to be very, very dire. We are in a great location based on our elevation at 21 feet, our location near the Mayo Clinic, and it really just makes a lot more sense for us to shelter in place or shelter up. One of the next questions that we typically see is, who would Cypress Village evacuate if needed? I think that's also in the guide as well, but in the case of a mandatory evacuation or an evacuation that we chose to evacuate on our own, the only residents that we would issue the evacuation for or be responsible for transporting, housing, taken care of would be those in regulated areas, both the healthcare center and our assisted living memory care. So on to our next question. How will my family know how I am doing if we lose power? So if we lose power here at Cypress Village, we do have multiple channels of communication that we utilize. We will continue to send email updates through our email system. We have our Call 'em All cell phone message and Text 'em All system, as well as an emergency hotline. We will send out our test message via email, text message, Call 'em all our channels on Monday, June 16th at 2 p.m. So be sure your information is up to date. If your loved one does not receive that call or you do not receive that call, please make sure you contact the concierge desk and let them know. A third question that we really receive just about every year, are we on the same power grid as the Mayo Clinic? And I wish we could say the answer is yes, but no, we are not on the same grid. We are on a separate grid. However, due to the proximity and critical services that Cypress Village provides to a large number of senior citizens, we do receive priority restoration. In addition, we have backup generators in place to support essential functions in regulated areas, which would be the healthcare center. Next question would be, can a family member stay in my apartment during a storm? Unfortunately, this is not something we can allow because we have limited supplies. And for us to provide a living arrangement for a family member or friend just would not be feasible, and it would really dilute the efficacy of what we're trying to provide for you, our residents. So that is not allowed. The policy is in place to ensure the safety and reduce strain on emergency operations here. So unfortunately, friends and families will not be able to stay with you in case of an emergency. In conclusion of our hurricane video today, I really appreciate all of our residents taking hurricanes very seriously. Preparation truly is the key to making a difference. While we hope for calm weather, we prepare for the worst so you can feel secure no matter what the forecast holds here at Cypress Village. Please make sure you review the full hurricane guide in its entirety. Update your hurricane preparedness form and needed talk with your family about your emergency plan. And don't forget to join us on June 25th at 2 p.m. in Egret Hall for our hurricane preparation meeting and video screening. We're in this together. Let's approach the season with knowledge, readiness, confidence, and always teamwork. It takes a village. Thank you all, and God bless.